Hello everyone, welcome you all in this session. Myself, Assistant Professor Ripul Gupta from LJ School of Law. So today we'll discuss on the subject of administrative law. The topic of discussion is subdelegation. This is the last topic of the whole subject, that is subdelegation. Now, what is subdelegation? We have learned about what is delegation. Now, what is delegation? Delegation means when the legislative authority delegates their work to the executive authorities. Now, subdelegation, when the legislative authority delegates work to the executive authority, and then executive authority delegates that work to another authority, to the subordinate authority, then this becomes a subdelegation. That means delegation means delegation of delegation. That means once I have delegated some work to you, then you delegate that work to some other person. That is called subdelegation. Now we'll see the example of subdelegation. So example is Essential Commodities Act 1955, Section 3 of the Act empowers central government to make their rules. So now here the first delegation of the work, where the legislative authorities in this section delegates the work to the central government. Under Section 5 of the central government, in the Section 5, the central government is empowered to delegate powers to its officer, to state government and their officers. So here there is called subdelegation, where Section 5 of the Acts delegate empowers to the executive authorities or the central government to delegate their work to their state government and the officers. So under this provision that empowers the delegators, that is executive authorities, to delegate their work, this is called subdelegation, and this is the example of subdelegation where you can find the statute itself, where the legislature ensures the powers in the hands of executive, where they delegate them power, and as well as on the powers of the delegated authorities, where the executives can delegate their power. So this is called subdelegation. And now further, if that delegated work, that is subdelegation work, is now again delegated by the state officers, state government to their officers, then it becomes subdelegation. So this is how the administrative authority works. So you can understand how this whole country administers themselves by delegation of the powers. So this is called subdelegation, when the executive authorities delegate their work, and that delegated work again delegated by them to their officers. That is called subdelegation. Now here in subdelegation, the delegated authorities further delegated work for the enforcement of law here. So executive authority has been empowered by the legislators that they can execute or empowers the other authority to execution of laws. That is called subdelegation. It has some objection too. It says that it subverts the power of the executive legislative authorities. So it undermines the powers of the legislative authority, and here it empowers the executive to further delegate that works. So basically the delegation work is done by the legislative authorities, but here it empowers again executive authorities to further delegated work. So it is a delegation or work. Now there is a maxim that delegatus non potest delegator. Basically this maxim used in the America. US does not believe in subdelegation. They say that once you have delegated one work, that work only done by you. You cannot further delegate it. So it says that you cannot delegate your work once it's delegated to you. So this principle of subdelegation is not followed in US, but this has been followed in UK and in India. So this maxim basically means that once you have given some work to do, that work you cannot further delegate again to another person. But it says that if in India, like if state authority has defined in their statutes that government officers can further delegate that work, then this can be permissible. But without this sanctioning, the executive authorities further cannot delegate their work. So subdelegation of legislative power, the generally impermissible but permissible, but if they are permissible through the statutes, it can be permissible when the legislative authorities themselves permitted executive authorities to further delegate the work. So once the legislative authority has given the powers in the hands of executive for delegation of the work, it has no difficulty at all. But if they have not defined anything in statute, they cannot further delegate that power. So if it is express power defined in the statute, then and then only the executives or the government has power to further delegate its work. In the case of Central Talkies Limited, Ms. Dwarka Prasad, in the UP Temporary Control Rent and Eviction Act 1947, provided that no suit shall be filed for the eviction of the tenant without permission either of the district magistrate or any officer authorized by him to perform any of his functions under the Act. An order granting permission by the additional district magistrate to whom powers were delegated was held valid. So here this has been work again delegated by the government to the judiciary. So this can be held valid because in their particular act it has been defined through express power that government can further delegate their works. Now that was express power, where in this statute itself the legislative authorities expressing their power there, where the executive authorities can further delegate their work. Now the second is implied power. In the case of Union of India versus P.K. Roy, the Supreme Court ruled that where the authority named in the statute has restrained in its hand general control over the activities of the authority to whom it is entrusted in part of exercise of statutory power, there is no delegation in the eyes of law, and maxim of delegatus non potest delegare does not apply. So it says that if there is no express provision, but impliedly if there is a general clause which is discussed about where they can make rules and can delegate their works, then this principle will not be applied. When there is a silent provision or there is an implied power has been given by the statutory authorities where the executive authorities can delegate their work, then this principle of delegatus non potest delegare will not apply to that principle. So we have discussed about sub-delegation. What is sub-delegation? Sub-delegation means once the legislative authorities have delegated their work to the executive, then executive further delegate to the work to the state government or their officers, that become a sub-delegation. So and if that officers again delegate their work to some other officers, it becomes sub-delegation. So this is how the sub-delegation works. Once the basic authorities delegate their work, they further delegate the same work to the other authorities. Yes, it is permissible on express and implied power whenever there is a statutory provision where they empowers the government that they can appoint their officers and can further delegate their work. They can delegate their work to the other authorities. So delegation must be there in the statute either expressly or impliedly. So this is how they can apply the sub-delegation. Thank you.